For this project, I'm using some weight 4 cotton yarn, and I'm using a 5.5mm hook as well as a 4.5mm hook. You don't need two hooks, I just use it to make it a little bit easier. So to start this top, we're going to start working on the cup piece. So I'm going to make a slip knot, and then I'm going to make my foundation chain. So my foundation chain is going to be 1/3 of the height that I want my cup to be, roughly. So I did a chain of 11, and then when I finished my chain of 11, I did a chain 3 to count as the last double crochet in this row. So now I'm just switching to my smaller hook. Again, this is optional. And then I'm going to yarn over and come with a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. And I'm going to go with a double crochet into each chain space in this foundation chain. So once I finish placing double crochets into each chain space, I'm down here at the last chain space. So this is where I'm going to place an increase for the cup so that we get that pointed part on top. So I'm going to place 1 double crochet, and then I'm going to place another double crochet into the same space. And then after those 2 double crochets, I'm going to chain 1 and then place 2 more double crochets into the same space. So in total, in that one space there, we have a total of 4 stitches and a chain 1. So now I'm going to continue working down this, and I'm going to come down the bottom side of those initial double crochets, and I'm just going to place 1 double crochet into the bottom of each of those initial double crochets. So I'm just going to do this all the way down until I get to the bottom. You want to make sure that when you get to the end here, to place 1 more double crochet into that initial chain 3 so that you get a nice flat bottom. So we're going to continue this, just always increasing at the one top side. So I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to place 1 double crochet into each double crochet space from the previous row. Once I get to the top here, I'm going to place my final double crochet into the space before the chain 1, and then when I get to the chain 1 space up here, I'm going to place 2 double crochet, and then a chain 1, and 2 more double crochets all into the same spot. And then I'm just going to come down the other side, placing 1 double crochet into each space. So you want to make sure you always have the same number of double crochet stitches on either side of your cup. So once again, when I get to the bottom, I just want to make sure I'm always placing a double crochet into that chain 3 space to make the bottom consistent. So you just want to make sure you're ending up with the same number of double crochets on each side every time. So I'm going to repeat this for 5 rows, and then I'm going to make a row of cutouts. So I'm going to start this row by chaining 4, and then we're going to skip the next double crochet and place a double crochet into the space after that. And then I'm going to create this chain pattern for this whole row. So after each double crochet, I'm going to chain one, skip one, and place a double crochet into the next space after that. So chain one, skip one double crochet into the next space. And then I'm just going to repeat this all the way till I get to the top. So when I'm at the top here, I'm going to place one last double crochet into that last available space before I get to the chain one space here. I still have a spot for one more double crochet. So I'm going to place my double crochet there, and then we need to account for 5 stitches in this increase. So the chains are going to count as a stitch, so we're going to chain one, place one double crochet into that center chain one space, and then we're going to chain one, place another double crochet into that chain one space, and then do another chain one. So this counts as 5. So we have chain one, double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one, all for that increased space. And then we're just going to go with a double crochet into the next double crochet space. And then I'm going to continue that spacing all the way till I get to the bottom. And after this row, I'm just going to go with a row of solid double crochets. So I'm just going to chain 3, place one double crochet into each of those chain spaces from the previous row, and one double crochet into each of the double crochets from the previous row as well. So once I get to that chain one space from the row before, I'm going to place my 2 double crochet, chain one, 2 double crochet to increase as normal. Then I'm just going to continue placing my double crochets all the way down the other side. This is what it looks like when that row is finished. So you have the chain row and then the double crochet row, and then I did another row of the chain spaces on top of that. So I'm just going to show you how I finished this here. So I'm going to come and place my double crochet into that last turning chain here. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through. Then I'm going to yarn over again and pull through 2, and then I'm going to cut my yarn and switch to another color. So for this last color, I'm just going to take it over my hook and pull it through those last 2 to change colors. So then I'm going to turn my work over, and this is going to be the border of the cup. So I'm going to chain 2 here, and then I'm going to place a half double crochet into the same stitch. So the chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch, it's just to build up the yarn here. So I'm going to do my half double crochet, and then I'm going to place a half double crochet into each space. So 1 half double crochet into each of the chain spaces, and 1 half double crochet into each double crochet from the previous row. And I'm going to do this all the way along. Then when I get to that chain 1 space, I'm going to create the strap. So into the chain 1 space, I'm going to place 2 half double crochets, and then where we would usually do the increase, I'm going to place the strap. So I'm just switching out to my larger hook for this, which you can do if you want, you don't need to. And then I'm going to make a chain for my strap. So I believe I chained about 100 chains. You just want it to be long enough to crisscross across your back and do up in the back. And then switching back to my smaller hook, I'm going to go with 1 single crochet into each of these chain spaces. So into the second chain from the hook, I'm going to place 1 single crochet into each of these spaces to make the strap. So when I get down here to the last chain space, I'm going to place my final single crochet, and then I'm going to go back into that same spot that we started and place 2 more half double crochets. So you can see the chain 1 space has 2 half double crochets, the strap, and then 2 more half double crochets. And then I'm just going to keep on putting half double crochets all the way down until I get to the bottom of the cup. So once I'm at the bottom, I switched again to my bigger hook, and I'm just making a chain that's long enough to reach from my side under my armpit area roughly to my middle back. So I made a chain of 20, and then I'm just going to chain 1 more and pull it through to fasten off this side. So once this cup is done, I'm going to set it aside and make a cup for the other side. So now I'm at the end of this cup and I've chained 20 again. This time for this side though, I'm not going to fasten off. I'm going to work back down on the chain with single crochets. Once I get back to the cup here, I'm just going to evenly place single crochets all the way across the bottom of the cup. So in this space for my last single crochet is actually where I'm going to join the cups. So I'm going to start a single crochet, and then I'm going to put my hook into the next cup, and I'm going to grab my yarn, pull it through, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. After that, I'm going to continue single crocheting all the way along till I get to the end of the strap of the other cup. So here I am, I'm going to start my single crochet, and then I'm going to switch back to my other yarn and use that to finish the stitch. So now in my other color, I'm going to chain 3 and then place 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way to the end of the row. So once I'm at the end of this row of double crochets, I'm going to turn over my work and I'm going to chain 4. Then I'm going to do a row of the same spacing that we did for the cup. So I'm going to chain 4, and then I'm going to skip the first stitch and go into the next one with a double crochet. Then I'm going to chain 1, skip 1, place 1 double crochet all the way down this row. After my row of chain 1 spaces, I'm going to turn my work, chain 3, and then I'm just going to do a row of solid double crochet all the way across. And then when you get to the end here, just make sure to place 1 last double crochet into the turning chain, so into the chain 3 of the initial chain 4 from the row before. So at the end of this row, I'm again going to work halfway up my double crochet, and then I'm going to change yarn to finish it off. Then I'm going to turn my work, and for this row, I'm just going to do a row of single crochet. So I'm going to chain 1, place 1 single crochet into that same space to build up my yarn, and then I'm going to place 1 single crochet all the way along this row. So I'm just going to, after this row, repeat this section 1 more time in the same pattern. So this is what it looks like right now. I'm just going to repeat this section 1 more time below to give my band some thickness. So I just repeated that section 1 more time, and I finished on a row of single crochet. So without detaching my yarn, I'm just going to finish up the side here. So I'm going to do one more single crochet into the last single crochet space to create the corner turn, and then I'm just going to place one single crochet all the way up this side of this band. When I get to the end, I'm going to place one more single crochet into that same space the way I did at the beginning of the row to create the turn. And then I'm going to turn over my work, and I'm going to chain 2 and place a half double crochet into the same space. And then I'm going to chain 1, skip 1, and place 1 half double crochet, and then another half double crochet, then I'm going to chain 1, skip 1, and place 1 half double crochet. So I'm just placing these chain spaces evenly across the back, and you can place them wherever you want your straps to come through. Then I'm just going to do this till I get to the end, and when I get to the end, I'm going to place 1 half double crochet, and then I'm going to finish this row by placing 1 more half double crochet. Once I have that, I'm going to fasten off there, and then I'm just going to repeat this on the other side. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll see you in the next one.